John T. Smithy College, 14th Belmont Street, North Shore, Rhode Island. Instant report. Date of incident, June 17th, 2014. Resident assistant, Adam Stocking. Type of incident, suicide. Description of incident. My name is Adam Stocking, and I'm a residence assistant at Marshall Hall at Smitty College. As per request by Dean Martinez, due to the nature of this incident, I am to make a more than thorough report about the suicide of Daniel Roberts on Friday, June 17th of this year. Below you shall find my full account of the incident. I do ask that you take what I write seriously. This is what happened in its entirety, and if the college or anyone knows about the book I found, please let me know. I'm starting to see things, and I have the most nightmarish dreams. My contact info can be found on the Res Life webpage. I was hired as a summer resident assistant to look after the residents who may have either remained behind to live on campus or were employed by the college during the summer months. Many of these students engaged in typical college behavior, socializing, spending time outdoors, and attending summer sporting events, along with the occasional breaking of college policy. While most students engaged in similar activities, one student, Daniel Roberts, was more of a quiet and introverted student. He worked with several of the professors in the anthropology department, studying some old documents. I didn't really have much of an interest in that because I was a communications and business double major. I rarely heard anything coming from Daniel's room, and I didn't find that particularly odd, as many students who stayed around this time tended to be more private. Being the concerned ray I was, and by that I mean my boss made me check up on him, I stopped by Daniel's room periodically to see how he was getting along. This is where my story takes a turn for the strange and impossible. The first few times I checked in on Daniel, he appeared to be the same old withdrawn kid that I met beforehand. We talked for a bit and made conversation about his research, the new Batman movie coming out next year, and general college guy talk. This was the normal pattern of talking with Daniel, that is, until a week before the summer program ended. Just as I was about to return to my room after my usual chat, Daniel grabbed me by the arm, with tears in his eyes, and whispered, "Don't open it." Then he slammed the door in my face. Having been taken back by what he said, I knocked on Daniel's door to ask what he meant. As I knocked, countless possibilities came into my head. What didn't he want me to open? His computer? His backpack? Was Daniel, this quiet sophomore kid, doing something illegal? That's when I heard it. A loud thud. I yelled Daniel's name to see if he was all right. I kept knocking, more and more frantically, to no avail. I ran to my room and grabbed the master key so that I could get into his room. After jockeying with the key and the lock, I pushed my way into Daniel's room, and there, hanging from the ceiling, was Daniel. I retched in the nearest waste bin as I saw his body sway back and forth above a sea of papers and documents. I completely forgot about procedure and broke down. How could he do this? And why? Sure, he was an introverted and withdrawn kid, but he always seemed, I don't know, normal. I knelt down and picked up one of the stacks of papers that littered the floor. Each paper read the exact same phrase. Don't open it. Don't open what? At this point, I was so lost that I almost tripped over the very large backpack that sat at the door. I had noticed that the main compartment was shredded and a large black mass sat inside. Was this what Daniel was talking about? I picked up the object. It was a fairly large rectangle, carved in barbed wire and plastic wrap. After the police concluded their inquiries and the college therapist spoke with me, I returned to my room and sat at my desk, pliers in hand. I didn't tell anyone about this object that I found in Daniel's room. I needed to know for myself why a kid like Daniel would kill himself. After working off the plastic and carefully removing the barbed wire, where did he even get that? My fingers were met with the leathery bindings of a book. Did Did Daniel steal something from the college? And if so, why would he kill himself over something so trivial? That's when I opened it and was met with the smell of decay and rot. I gagged and retched as I noticed the bindings gave off an oozing and foul-smelling substance. That's when I, for some reason, noticed the title of the book, Necronomicon de Mortis.